Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Saturday and it's 12 noon. And I want to thank you for coming here for another episode of nope, From the Desk of Dr. Ron. Right, that's the right show. Ooh, get confused sometimes. Y'all pray for me, a lot on my brain. I just want to give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that we have been traveling together, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And the reason why I talk about my mentor so much is because I want you guys to understand the value of a mentor. A mentor is somebody that I tell you, you cannot live without. If you don't have a mentor, you are missing out on some valuable resources that you can have in your life by having a mentor. A mentor will pray for you. A mentor can guide you, lead you, and direct you in the right place. So I encourage you, get a mentor, somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can count on to be there for you. And then I want you to get a show so you can shout your mentor out every time you go live. So as you can see, I've got an interesting one today. When you look at the USA, what do you see? I was talking with another one of my mentors, Mr. Lee Michaels, on this week, and we were looking at some of the things that are going on in the White House and some of the things that make you want to scratch your head. And we came to a conclusion together that, people see what they want to see. They put blinders on. It's interesting, when you work on a farm and you have stubborn animals, I'll just say it like that, like a mule or a donkey or a horse, someone that's a working beast, as they call it, beast of the field. And when you working with those animals, they're so huge and so humongous, they can hurt you at any given time. But to try and keep those animals under control and try and keep those animals from going wild and hurting someone, they put blinders on them. Because I don't know if you notice or not, but a horse, we see straight ahead, and we have some peripheral vision, as they call it. But they have a view that can go almost 360 all the way around. Don't believe me, look it up. And with that vision, they have to keep them focused in one direction so that they don't get spooked or they don't get nervous or antsy and run out of control and can hurt themselves and others as well. So when me and Lee were talking on this week, we were talking about what are people seeing? I know what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, I can see probably things that they don't want me to see. My vision is very clear and in depth, and I can see in multi dimensions and things of that nature. And I was looking at on this week what happened in the White House. Now, here's a president of another whole country that has been fighting, trying to get peace in his country for the last 3 years, the anniversary of what's been going on in Russia and Ukraine, and it's got the United States involved because we have been supporting them. The last administration has been giving them money, weapons, food, have welcomed their people into our country to offer them sanctuary and support, as well as other European countries have taken in people, children and ladies, young adults, into their countries to help them during this time of war for the last 3 years. And here's a country that has been picked on, persecuted, and messed over by a bigger country, which is the Russia. I want to say USSR, but the problem is that the United States has changed administration, and now we have a president who's an opportunist. And now this is what I see, you all. Okay, now you might see something different, but this is what I see. The United States is an opportunist. They looked at this country that has been war torn, beat up on, beat down, and have looked at them and says, well, look, we want you to give us your mineral rights right now. And we will help you if you do this. Just sign them over to us. Now here's a country that's been fighting for their life, their existence. Russia wanted to take control of them because at one point in time they were part of Russia. And because the dictator in Russia said, well, I want to try and take control of something we once had and make us great again. Woo, boy, don't that sound familiar. And it's a personal vendetta against that country and its independence. So Russia's not going to stop at Ukraine. Ukraine is the country in between Germany and other European countries that are so close to, the borders of Ukraine, that once Russia begins to start this campaign of conquering, which they have not been able to do outright, they thought it was going to be a 6-month war, but it's not. It's still going on 3 years later. And then because the European countries and NATO, which is joined together to protect one another, Ukraine wanted to be a part of NATO so that they can get sanctuary and help. But they're like, no, you're not going to ever be accepted into NATO. We don't want you, or you just can't be a part of us and get the protections that they offer. So now the United States of America, being the bully and the thug that they are right now because of the president that we have right now, said, okay, he's an opportunist. Like, I want your mineral rights. Well, they said, well, we'll give you some mineral rights, but we want some protections to go along with that. Well, we ain't giving you nothing. We just gonna gangster because you're weak and right now you're suffering. Matter of fact, you started this war, which was a lie. They did not start this war, but that's the lie that they told. They pushed out there that Ukraine started this war. Why? Because they were vulnerable, and by them being vulnerable, so every big dog is supposed to come along now and take a chunk out their ass. Oh no, come on, y'all. What do you see when you look at the United States? The United States invited this man into the White House. The vice president and the president just literally, abused him verbally. They abused him. They said, oh, you're not in a position, to refuse anything that we tell you that you need to accept. This was a promise that he made when he was campaigning. I will end the war in Ukraine within a week. Give me 7 days. Well, he's working on his first 100 days. What do you see? What do you see? Many of the megas and the Republicans that support their president because of the political party, they say, oh, it was beautiful. I haven't seen anything like this ever. I support everything that he's doing. Well, here's a country. Their whole country, they're a sovereign country. and then you just disrespected their sovereign leader. Talking about, well, if you have an election, would you agree to have an election and let somebody else come into office? Why would you even put that out there like that? You know, why would you disrespect this man and his country? You know, that's like Donald Trump, you know, said that he was going to annex Canada. He was just going to take Canada and make it part of the United States. You know, just like he had said he was going to take the Gulf of Mexico, which has been the Gulf of Mexico, and make it the Gulf of America. Just like he said he was going to take the Panama Canal. He's just going to take it. You know, what? That's very bullyish, you know. So it made me think. We just came out of Black History Month, and some of the things that the United States should not be proud of, but they are. All of the massacres of all of the indigenous people that lived in this country before the United States became the United States. And they came over here and called them savages and began to make them extinct. They joined forces with other European countries, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the English, and went to Africa, where we have gold, minerals, petroleum, and they went over there and just colonized Africa, and then began to capture people that were weak, and put them on ships and bring them over here and say, okay, now we can get a good 200-300 years off of their back, and all we have to do is just keep them in servitude, and we can build a country of great riches. And they did. You know, I was listening to a young lady speaking about Nat Turner this morning, and how Nat Turner was really the reason why the Civil War started. Abraham Lincoln did not do what people say that he did, you know, which was freed the slaves. He had no choice in the matter. The Civil War had to happen because the North didn't agree with the way that the South were treating the slaves, because of Nat Turner's rebellion, who killed all of those slave owners and plantation owners. That's why they're so still afraid to this day, that they feel like America is going to get what is due. And America is a thug. They have been going around the world thugging it out. Y'all don't know what a thug is? Look it up. But the United States has been abusing and misusing its power because they got their fingers on a button that they can push and wipe some folks out. Because they have some powers with weaponry that they feel like they can talk to anybody any kind of way. Well, I got news for you. China ain't scared of them. You know, or there are some other countries out here that are not afraid of them. And Donald Trump wants to be a thug so bad, and a dictator so bad, and a king so bad, he is willing to tear up the Constitution of the United States. What do you see when you look at the United States of America? The Dred Scott Supreme Court ruling said that people of color are not human beings. We are not human beings. They don't see us as human beings. So we need to begin to see ourselves as human beings. We have been abused and misused for so long, we believe some of the things that the Europeans have said about us. We've been brainwashed. We have a low opinion of ourselves. So if we're going to exist in this environment, we have to rise above what they say we are. When I say they, I'm talking about Europeans. Okay? And we need to have more love and respect for our own than they have for us. You know, I want to applaud all those that participated in the protest on yesterday. There were many people doing body counts, going in the stores to see if there was anybody in the stores on yesterday. And they took videos. And they were happy to report that in Walmarts there were no lines, there were no people. There were people that were there to support the protest. I myself on yesterday supported a restaurant that was brown owned. I ate tacos yesterday, okay? Burrito on yesterday. So I supported a minority business that is in the same boat that we are in. I first went to an African American restaurant who didn't have what I wanted. They trying to sell me some pork chops, and I don't eat pork chops. So I went to the brown skinned people who had burrito, which is what I wanted. So I got what I wanted yesterday. Then I came on home and I began to watch and see how the power of the black dollar, the African American dollar, we represent trillions of dollars of buying power. Use our power that we have, that they want from us. I remember back when COVID was taking place, and we got that first stimulus check, and there was in New York City a pizza restaurant that was struggling, and he actually got mad. He said, "You gave all these people all of this money, $2,000, and they're not coming to buy pizza from me. I'm about to go out of business." Well, I thought that was kind of, ignorant, because you weren't about staying in business. You've been in business for 50 years, family-owned business, and you got mad because the people of color who got a stimulus check for the first time in their life from the United States government, and they not coming to support your business? And that's the way Europeans think. We give you money to keep us in business. Whew, that's deep, ain't it? So when you look at the United States of America, what do you see? Now, I know people don't have the same viewpoints and opinions that I have, but my opinion and my viewpoint is mine to have. And I just want to encourage people, take a look around. Take a look around and see what you see. Police are killing people of color, African Americans, black. They just shoot them down in the street. And it's okay. They break in your house, beat you up. There's activists in New York City and here in Chicago, and they asked the question, what did he do for 6 men to be kicking and stomping and beating him in the face while he's under their physical control? Makes you wonder. Okay? So I'm not going to continue ranting and raving on today, but I just want you all to take a moment and think for a second. What do you see when you look at the United States of America? What do you see? And then maybe you need to do some research to understand that maybe that you bought the hype. I've been listening to Minister Farrakhan speak, very, very, very powerful speaker. And he has been telling the nation of Islam, the brothers, the sisters, that we don't need America. We live here, yes, but we don't need America. We need to take our economic power and support one another. And I totally agree with him on that. Please take your economic power and support one another. All right, that's it for today. I'm not going to keep ranting and raving. I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to take a look at all of my advertisers. This is a list of some of my advertisers. Check them out. They've been vetted out. They all do what they say they do. Click on any one of the flyers, the banners that are listed on the website. It'll take you to their website so you can see what they do. You know, just a heads up, I talked to Port Again Sam on this week. He's got some inventory, but it's not a lot. If you don't know what your favorite wine is, you need to go find out. Go over there and talk to him so that you can talk to him about your new favorite wine. I got a special guest coming on this week. He's never been on the show before. Coming up, Odell Edwards is coming on, and we're going to be talking about, he's a recipient of a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, and he's got a story to tell. You do not want to miss out on listening to us talk on this Tuesday coming up, okay? I want to invite you guys to join me each and every Wednesday. Street News Now, we have the Noon Report. Join us when we do the Noon Report each and every Wednesday. Me and one of my mentors, Mr. Lee Michaels, when we're talking about what's going on in the world, news commentary, so that you all can get a different perspective on what's going on in the world from what we see. Okay, definitely come and join us. Please don't forget to mark on your calendar each and every Saturday at 12 noon from the desk of Dr. Ron. You definitely want to come back and join me. As you can see, I have different perspective and what I see, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. You know, Black History Month is over with. It is definitely a different month now. Today is March the 1st, but I tell you, Black history will continue. We're going to talk about it 365 days out of the year. Black History Moment every Sunday evening. We're going to start it back up. We're going to keep it going, and we want you guys to support it and spread the word, okay? I want to thank each and every person that have made donations and contributions. I can't do it without you. I want to thank you all. These are all the ways that you can make contributions and donations to support us, to keep us going. Please, while you're over here, hit that subscribe and like button. Please hit the subscribe and like button. I definitely need you to spread the word. Tell him I'm talking crazy over here, y'all. You need to go over there and see what he's talking about. So that's it for today. I just want you guys to take a moment and see what's really going on. Do a deep dive. Do a fact check. Everything the current president say is totally OC, out of control. So I encourage you all to do some searching so that you can see what's really going on out here. That's it for today. Look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. You do not want to miss a great conversation that we're going to be having on Tuesday. I just want you guys to know I love you, and